The morning air outside the courthouse was thick with tension. Long before the doors opened, journalists crowded the steps, microphones ready, cameras locked onto the entrance as if history itself were about to walk through the doors. Police barricades stretched across the street, separating protesters who stood on opposite sides of a widening national divide. Inside the building, the courtroom was quiet to quiet. The wooden benches, worn smooth by decades of ordinary cases, now held a moment that was anything but ordinary. This was not just a trial of a former president. It was a trial of America's belief in its own legal system. At the defense table sat Donald Trump, composed, defiant, and fully aware that the eyes of the world were on him. To his supporters, he represented resistance against a corrupt system. To his critics, he symbolized unchecked power finally being challenged. But to the court, at least in theory, he was simply a defendant. Presiding over the case was Judge Eleanor Whitman, a woman known for her strict respect for constitutional law. She understood what was at stake. Every ruling she made would be scrutinized, debated, and remembered. This courtroom was no longer just a place for legal arguments. It had become a national stage. Outside the courthouse, crowds shouted competing slogans. Some demanded accountability and justice. Others cried political persecution and warned of dangerous precedent. America was not watching this trial as one nation, but as two deeply divided realities. The prosecution spoke carefully, presenting documents, timelines, and sworn testimony. Their argument was simple, yet explosive. No one, not even a former president, stands above the law. Each piece of evidence was laid out methodically, as if precision itself could restore public trust. The defense countered with equal force. They argued that the case was politically motivated, a dangerous use of the justice system to silence opposition. This, they claimed, was not about law but about power. The courtroom absorbed every word, every pause, every raised voice. Among those watching quietly was Sarah Klein, a young court clerk fresh out of law school. She had grown up believing in institutions and the idea that rules, procedures, and precedent could hold a nation together. But as she observed the trial, she felt that belief being tested in real time. During recess, Sarah scrolled through headlines on her phone. Democracy on trial, justice or witch hunt. Public opinion was louder than the courtroom itself. As days turned into weeks, the pressure intensified. Protests grew larger. Security tightened. Every development sparked outrage somewhere. The trial was no longer about determining facts alone. It was about whether Americans still trusted the system meant to deliver truth. Late one evening, Judge Whitman sat alone in her chambers, rereading the Constitution, not to interpret a specific clause, but to remind herself why the law existed at all.